more than 200,000 new folks are looking. This is what ACE seeks to provide a solution. He sees unemployment among the youth. We are going to solve the unemployment. He is not a politician, but he wants to solve Ghana's problem. He will provide incubation opportunities for starters, teach principles of practical entrepreneurship, encourage them, do all kinds of things. So he started encouraging young people in the schools, etc. Currently, ACE Ghana is providing entrepreneurship training and mentorship to 10,000 students and graduates from universities, polytechnics, teacher training, and agri colleges in Ghana. We have just signed a memorandum of understanding with the University Student Association of Ghana, USAG, to train 300,000 student members in practical entrepreneurship. So he goes to the universities. I am going to train you so that by the time you graduate, you have a job. This is a young man. He wants to groom 5,000 businesses which will employ at least 10 people by the year 2020. He accomplished that. If 5,000 businesses each hires 10 people, they would have produced 50,000 jobs. Say amen. Amen. He will raise financial support to provide seed capital for the 5,000 businesses. Some of the transformational changes he's making on the continent of Africa, different areas, information technology, agro-processing, clothing associates, etc., etc. And then he goes to the secondary schools. He rallies the students around. In this Wiamase, Bedmase, whatever Ase area. Identify a problem in your district and come up with a solution. The one who will come with good solution, I'll give this financials, this. And that has unleashed creativity among secondary school students. The screen you see, these are some of the products secondary school students are producing using local material. Say amen. Amen. Others are into clothing, fashion design, shoes. Secondary schools, the creativity is there. In fact, amongst other things, the bamboo bicycle, Kwabna Danso, he passed through their program. I'll talk about him soon. People started producing even honey juice and etc., even fish or meat, dried, packaged. Secondary school students. And then he talks about others are undertaking huge innovation in the field of IT. One young graduate that we have empowered, his name Chris Pone, has been able to design an educational app for the Android markets so that with a click of the button, high school students can get access to all past questions and their solutions via mobile phone. Chris was the only Ghanaian who was shortlisted for Silicon Valley Technology Bootcamp in 2016. A Ghanaian. That is he here, Franklin. And then he continues his story, which, by the way, I am just telling the leaders seated there because they think young people can't do it. Apart from my passion for business, development, and entrepreneurship, I have a burning desire to win souls for the kingdom. I'm doing this with my dedicated team at Beulah Church, Beulah SDA Church in Kumasi, a church with a passion for professional, community, blah, 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 etc. With a well-planned mission project to schools, corporate communities, and missions, souls have been won. So he's also winning souls. In fact, I was here on this campus a little over 9 years ago to do a lecture series. That is me standing there. You just look for the good-looking person, and that is me. His current portfolio. He's a visiting entrepreneurship career development instructor for the following institutions: African Internship Academy, Kumasi Hive, TEDx Accra, Harper Speaks, Smith, etc., etc. He is a key speaker and trainer in entrepreneurship development for SRCs of the various universities. Kwame Nkrumah, University of Science and Technology, the SRC, he trains them. University of Development Studies, wow. University of Cape Coast, Methodist University Central, he is training the SRC leaders to be job creators. I was traveling, I was in Amsterdam at the airport, and I got a quick text message. Dr. Pepin, guess what? I just got a message from the president of Ghana that they are looking for a young man who would help give Ghanaian youth jobs. And they have nominated me to be in charge of business operation, and I'm going to work directly under the president. The program is called YES, Youth Enterprise Support. directly under the... He is not a politician campaigning, but because he excels, and the head of state was looking for someone who can inspire young people and give them, he gave him that job. Today, that job, the name has been changed from YES to NEP, National Entrepreneurship Innovation Program. He is in charge of the business operations. And if I tell you what he has done, sealed all the loopholes for corruption. I still mentor him, so when I'm in Ghana, I go and visit him. That is him there and his NEP office. Go inside, sit him down, we discuss issues. He is training another generation of young people. In fact, he has different organizations, Mind Builders Africa. Notice the emphasis on mind. We need mind builders. Event Tribe. Some of the flags you see there, some of all these wonderful things, it is their team that did it together. Young people. What is the message? Excellence is a chain reaction. He listened to one lecture, it affects him, then he starts impacting other people. If that's clear, say amen. Let me give you another example. See, many of you don't believe this. You just sit here like poultry chicken. I'm trying to convince you it can happen. It is happening. I'm just giving you Ghanaian example. I can take you to different African countries. Young people are rising up, making a difference. You can do the same. Let me give you another one. Here is a photo of me standing with someone. Do you know him? You don't even know him. His name is Kwabena Danso. He's the executive director for the Yonsu project. In 2010, he was a fellow of the International Youth Foundation, winner in 2012 of the Airtel Touching Lives, recipient of Gold Award for Grassroots Rural Community, so and so. I told him, Kwabena, tell me your story too, so that I can tell these leaders who are behaving like chickens. So he sent me his report, my story, a letter to Dr. Pepem. Dear Dr. Pepem, I first encountered you in 2005 when you came to University of Ghana, Legon campus for Living Without Fear lecture series. Meeting you was a life-changing encounter which got me thinking. Your messages drew me closer to you, and I made it my duty to make sure I come to your hostel to pick your things to the lecture center every day so that I'll learn more. Actually, he was so annoying. I lived in the guest house at Legon campus. Every morning we had the excellency at 5 a.m. By 5, he's there, knocking on my door. I want to carry your bag. I want to do this. And when we are walking, he'll be asking me annoying questions. Usually, I want to be thinking about what to say. But this brother was pestering me, all of this. I didn't know something was happening. It was only later, through this story, that I got to know. It was so much comforting for me to come to you every day because of your personal story you continue sharing with me. My encounter was, at the same time, I was battling God, thinking God has not been faithful to me. I was going through difficult situations back on campus. I must say, I was even drawn closer to you because your personal story was just like mine. My dad denied responsibility for my mom's pregnancy. As a result, I was born a bastard, raised up by my poor grandmother in the village of Yonsu, in the Ashanti region of Ghana, where I grew up. My dad, from my grandmother's story, my mom nearly aborted the pregnancy. But God intervened on that day when her sister chanced upon her trying to take concoction to commit abortion. I was brought up by my grandmother, whom I thought was my mother all these years, and my mom, I thought she was my sister. For some reason, I never got along well with my mom until I was about 11 years. The longest time I spent with my mom was when she was alive, was 1 month. This was when I visited her and my stepfather. I was at JHS. In 1990, I was adopted by one of my great-grandmothers to stay with her in the central region, and that was where my life really began. I had to walk about 10 miles a day to school, where most of the time I will use just one exercise book and a pen for the whole term. I suffered several abuse. Most of the time, I had to go to school without footwear. Sometimes I would be made to go without food for 3 days as punishment. Despite all this, my headmaster at the school saw something different in me and was always encouraging me. One Monday morning, I overheard my uncle discussing with my great-grandmother that he would be traveling to Yon.